Hi there, welcome to another video today, and we're going to start with our quote of the day. It's going to be Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Okay, so that's our quote of the day, and today's topic will be using the finally in error handling. So let's get started. Okay, so what is the finally block? So in PowerShell, there's a finally block is used to run code that should be executed regardless of whether there is a error, whether is there an error occurred or not. And this is especially useful like if you want to clean up actions or run some sort of step at the end. And so it doesn't matter the outcome of the try or the catch blocks. It will always run the finally block there. So we're gonna go through an example. Okay, so we already know, well, if you watched the video yesterday, we already covered the try and catch block. So pretty much the try will actually run this code block here first, and it will always run this code block. And based on the results of this, if it's success, then the block will end here. And if it goes into an error within this code block, then it goes to the catch, and then it will do what the catch tells it to do. So in this case, it'll write the error. If there was a problem with running this command, or if there was a problem with any of the commands within the try block, it'll go to the catch. So that's just a quick view, and if you want to get to know more about this, just check the previous video before this one, and we cover a basic kind of overview of the try and catch block there. Okay, so how we'll use the finally block here. So pretty much to use the finally block, you just add this at the end of the catch block, and this will allow you to run whatever you want it to run if it either finishes the try or the catch block. And so let's just run this first so you can see it work, and that way you get an idea. So we'll run the success. So this, as you can see here, it ran the success of the this ran successfully, so it stayed within the try block. And if it had the catch block, so let me just remove this so that way you guys will know it's not executing this. Okay, so we're just showing the examples again. Alright, so this is successful. So you can see it ran this write host statement here. And if you want to see it run through, I'm going to put a bogus file name here, and it should print out the error there. You should see an error occurred. There you go, an error occurred. Okay, so how we want this to work. So I'm going to put this back in our success. So this is how the finally will run. Okay, then we could write the output. Okay, and then we could just say running final step. So this will kind of show you, and I'll just put some stars in it so you could tell, put a little more description in it here. Okay, so this should run the test will be that it'll run in the success block because this file exists and it shouldn't have any errors. So let's try that. Okay, and as you can see, it ran, so that means it printed a statement and then it jumped to the finally block here, and you can see it says running final step. So now let's do the same, but let's put an error. So I'll put a bogus file name in here now, and you would see it will hit that finally block again, but with the error this time. Okay, there you go. So you can see it printed out the error. I said an error occurred, like it had here, and then it printed out the error message, and then it still ran the running finally step. So this is pretty good. So if you ever need to end your code to have a final step after, if it took either of these, ended at either of these here, it will definitely run through the finally step. So this is where we wouldn't really cover it today, but pretty much like when you're opening and reading files and then you wanted to close the file, normally you would do that You would read your file here, and if the reading the file or opening the file got into an error, it'll go into catch block, but then it will go into close. You would maybe put your close block here for like closing off the file after you finish working on it. So that's how useful the finally block is. So when you use the finally block for any actions that you need to happen, no matter the outcome of the try or the try block or the catch block. So for example, I give the example of like closing files. You could close connections or streams. It also, you could do the steps there where you want to release resources, or you want to maybe put some logging like what we just did here to show that this was the last step or the completion step. So that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's finish off with our quote of the day. Okay, so it's going to be Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declared the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Okay, so don't forget to read your Bibles, and if you're not going to church, please go to try to find a great Bible-based church, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.